Welcome back to Life in Pinstripes. I am James Yevon.
I'm TJ Stolzenberg.
Double digits.
Double digits, man. We made
Number 10. We did it. Episode number 10. And we are stronger than ever.
Stronger. Feeling a little weaker, though, after that whole Yankee experience we just had. But we will get into that in a second. We have a lot to say about us traveling to Yankee Stadium.
Oh, come on. You knew you had a good time with it. I definitely did.
It was a blast. But, man, do we have a lot to say about that?
Yes.
But first, we have to have our tip of the cap moment of the week. And this week, it goes to Bryce
Harper. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
We all knew when his first game back at Nationals Park, you knew he was going to get doused with booze.
Oh, man. He was assassinated with booze. But,
I know, so bad.
But, who had the last laugh?
Bryce Harper himself.
Oh, man. So, the home run, he hits a home run, need I say. It was not just a regular home run. It was a 458-foot home run with a 111.5 exit velocity. Might I say, folks in Washington, ouch.
Yeah. Although in the first two at-bats, struck out against Max Scherzer.
Oh, didn't know about that.
Yes. He was 3 for 5 that game. First two at-bats struck out against Max Scherzer.
Well, you don't even know about it. I didn't even know about it. And that's because he avenged himself and took the ball and said, this is where you're going to go. That way.
It was all Bryce Harper towards the end of the game. And you could tell that Nationals Park, it was completely filled with Phillies fans, too.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
everybody left.
They had an absolute showing there. I looked in I was like, wait a minute, is this in Philly? No, it was in Washington.
Was in his original place. Well, here's the reason. The reason why Nationals fans booed him. During the offseason, he had a 10-year, $300 million contract. He said no to them. And everyone's like, what?
He's hateable.
Clearly, he does not want to be part of the Nationals anymore. That's why he signed that ridiculous contract with the Phillies. But here's the one thing. 10 years, $300 million, that's $30 million a year. He took 13, 330. That's about 25 mil.
Yeah.
That's a little...
Yeah, it's a little strange, but there must be something that we don't know about in the clauses or in the details of it that made him feel... And pretty much he probably just wanted to go win. And he saw the Phillies were piecing together quite a squad, so that had to be part of it.
They are loaded this year.
Loaded. We were talking about that a couple episodes ago, how they went from a bunch of nobodies to...
a somebody.
A lot of somebodies.
A big somebody freight train that you just have to worry about.
Have to. And in the rest of the NL East, I will say the Mets are looking good. But let's be honest. Yes, it's a 162-game season.
It's also the Mets. They always start off red hot.
Man, do they.
And then they find a brand new low. Like losing 25-4 last year against the freaking Nationals. I don't know how that's possible.
We should also do a miniature tip of the cap moment to Jacob deGrom.
Yes.
The man went yard.
The dude had 14 strikeouts too, besides going yard.
Oh, no big deal. Also, yes, 14 strikeouts. His first performance, he also beat Max Scherzer in a 1 or 2-0 victory in the opening day. The man is on fire. The man signed a contract and is playing like it doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter. Winning matters to the man. He knocks the ball out of the park and sadly has more home runs than...
A lot of players.
Like
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge will go yard soon enough.
I'm calling it. Next game, Orioles, he's going deep against Camden Yards. He has the best numbers against any other team in Major League Baseball. It's also the Orioles, too.
We always say this, but look at them. The Orioles are technically, are they in first? Yeah, they're in first.
4-3 now. They're lost today.
Before, I really want to talk about our experience. And before we do that, let me pull it back.
I've been building up this to talk about those experiences.
And there's a reason why we're wearing cute matching uniforms. So for those who are listening on the audio, sorry you can't see how cute we are. But as those who are watching this, look at us right now.
We're wearing a bunch of Yankee shirts.
And there's quite a story behind one of them involving a toilet. But
stick around. You definitely want to hear this.
I'm digressing. The tip of the cap moment of the week for the ladies has to go to UConn women's basketball.
Homebound team. Hey, gotta love it.
Gotta love them. I went to UConn. God bless you, ladies. You've gone to now your 12th, I repeat, 12th straight Final Four appearance.
I'm not Dev. That's pretty pretty good.
Yeah, and nonetheless, that's not saying they've been to the tournament 12 times. Many times you see a stat, is their fourth making the dance. No, they've been to the Final Four 12 times in a row.
The game before the ship, Final Four, not an easy task.
No, they face Notre Dame, 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Notre Dame does always give them kind of a tough fight, but we'll see. We'll see.
I'm always confident in our ladies from UConn.
And Gino, give him heck.
Gotta love Gino.
So, I will say this. Katie Lou Hamilton, Naphisha Collier, Crystal Dangerfield, all those ladies out there, represent. Show them what Connecticut got. Because the men's side of UConn's basketball...
Ice cold.
Oh, boy. Yeah. We don't even have to get into that because that's gross and smelly.
I think a lot of people know about our men's side.
Yeah.
Been ice cold over the last few years.
Hey, I'm blessed because I bookended. My college experience was bookended by a national championship vis-a-vis Kemba Walker my freshman year.
Cardiac Kemba! That was
Five games in 5 days at the Garden. Oh, man, leading right into the tournament. And we were a 7 seed or something like that. We went all the way, man. Boom, boom, boom. My senior year, and watching the guards just train each other and make each other better. You had Kemba leading into Shabazz Napier.
Shabazz Napier.
And
net.
Not to he is a net.
Yeah.
Not to say that in between there was some difficulties. We got banned. We couldn't even go to the tournament my junior year. So
really, why?
Yeah, that was when they had all the infractions. They had the it was when Calhoun was still in, and it was Calhoun's second last year or whatever. My sophomore year we can go. Anyway, that doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter because Kevin Ollie picked up the shtick when it was a mess. You try to replace a living legend, you can't.
It's impossible.
You have to rewrite the narrative,
especially with Jim Calhoun. Guys. It's
Jim Calhoun, especially Connecticut history. And the man came in. He had a messy year his first year. He couldn't go to the tournament. But then his second year, my senior year, Shabazz Napier leads them boys with oh my God, some of the most dramatic and amazing plays. But I think that stuff like that, Shabazz, he saw and felt and lived as a younger man watching Kemba do it. So he knew how it got done. And he saw and lived with the man and knew that it's more than just things you do on the court. It's how you carry yourself off. And then it was supposed to lead into Ryan Boatwright to do the same the following year. And Jalen Adams after that. But
didn't go very far.
Somewhere along the line, something happened and... yeah. So
this is gonna be my move from now on. It's just gonna be my hand just going from this and just going. It's called rock bottom.
Yes,
which is an area you don't want to.
Unfortunately, I think they are rock. But I love our new coaching signing. I love him. His passion at the beginning of the year. We're freaking out. We're screaming. We're yelling. We're winning games. Granted, we're playing Nobody Tech and Nobody University, but we were hot early, and then yeah.
Felt just a little bit short.
Just a bit short. 10th game in the season. But we're now going to talk about what we've been waiting for.
You definitely want to hear our wonderful...
And for anyone who wants to turn the off button on right now, just because we're about to talk about the Yankee game experience, do not. Because there's some stuff that happened in there that is of historic hilarity.
Come on, this is even a story that Red Sox fans want to hear.
Oh, dude, the Red Sox fans out there, and I know Jimmy Healy, shout out to you. I know you're listening to this. You're going to love this too. Leading into that, because you were the last person I was with before closing the bar the night before.
Okay, yes. We're talking about your wonderful job.
My job, bartender. 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm dropping off my buddy Jimmy and close the bar, drop him off, heading on home, and I think to myself, all right, James is going to be here in...
You told me to get you at 8:15 in the morning.
I was amped. I was amped. I was texting you. I was like, dude, pick me up now. Let's go.
This was me. I'm like, wait, what? 8:15? I'm like, all right, let's do this.
I was like, all right, 10, all right, 9, all right, 8. And, we didn't know there'd be a rain delay. But before
Who would have thought there were going to be a rain
before we
delay?
even get to that.
Okay.
You're right. Should we talk about my unexpected guests?
Oh yeah. So what was it at around 8 o'clock? You know, I'm like, I text him saying I'm ready to leave. I'm like, do you want me to leave now? He's like, can you push to 8:30, 8:45? He's like, I have unexpected guests. I'm like, okay, so it could lead to two things. It could be an unexpected family member that just shows up out of nowhere, or it's what you had to deal with.
So I don't know exactly what species I was dealing with, but
Definitely not a family member.
yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning, you hear, it was like 7:45, you hear a scream from your girl. That's never good. She runs in, is hitting me, so it's not like, you know.
She's hitting you?
Her scream didn't wake me up. She was big, get over here, get over here, get over here. And I run into the other room, and I look down in the corner, and there are 4 little unbreaded chicken nuggets, it seemed like.
I'm sorry, I can't hold it together right now because the way you told me this was absolutely hilarious.
But imagine an unbreaded McDonald's chicken nugget, you know. It's this weird pink little thing, and then all 4 of them start moving, and I'm like, whoa, whoa.
Okay, yeah.
So as I texted him, I have some unexpected guests. So the first thing I did, I grabbed some books. I boxed them in. You know, I wasn't letting them get anywhere. I was like, here you go. You're staying here. You're staying here. I'm also like,
Of course.
well, and by the way, they were like either baby mice or baby squirrel. I don't even know what it was.
You told me it was a chipmunk.
It looked like a chipmunk. It looked like a really, really tiny chipmunk.
How did he get into the place in the...
But they're in that weird, hairless, like, gross-looking stage, so they're not cute yet. But nonetheless, I box them in with books. I'm thinking, what the heck do I do? I mean, I'm not going to kill him. She's yelling, kill him, kill him. I'm like,
Set them free.
dude, yeah. I'm a peaceful man. I'm a animal lover. And the only problem is not in my house. You can be, you know, I can respect all creatures, and I will take care of you. I will not feed you. I will not bathe you. I will let you outside. Unless you're a spider, you're dying. But
Oh, I will smash you. Unless if
Yeah.
you're going to turn me into Spider-Man, then that's a different story.
I'm an 8-leggedist, you could call me. I like you with 2 legs. I like you with 4. But if you have 8,
Or 16.
get out of here. But I will say this, I somehow, and James is like, you ready for some baseball? And I'm like,
I was all
Oh.
dressed up. I had my Yankee attire, my hat backwards. You know, I just ate breakfast, had my banana, my kind bar. I'm just like, dude,
And
I'm ready to go.
I'm there on like 2 hours of sleep, my bags under my eyes, have bags under my eyes, and I am scooping with a golf club. I took a 5-iron and gently scooped them into a dustpan. And I was carrying all 4 of the family. Now, need I say, I was wondering where the mother was, because I was wondering if this is like a territorial child thing, like when the cub walks by, look out for Mama Bear. I was wondering if Mama Bear was going to jump out somewhere, but I think whoever these little nuggets' parents were very bad parents. Not only did they neglect the fact that their children were wandering my apartment at 7 in the morning, but
Also by 2 big giants, you and your girl. You
Yeah.
don't know what's going to happen, pretty
yeah,
much.
way to go, rat mom.
Or chipmunk mom, or whatever you
Whatever
want to call
you
her.
were. I digress. But I scooped them into the dustpan. I'm running down the stairs with James on the phone, telling him, "Hey, buddy, can you extend it another couple of minutes there, guy?"
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, sure, absolutely. And then I think, what was it? It was like 8:30 or 8:45, and I'm like, can I come now? And you're like, yes. I'm like, okay. So then I drive to your place.
Finally.
Fine, I text you saying I'm here. I call you, and I'm like, okay, he's probably busy still handling his unexpected guests. I'm like, 10 minutes goes by. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, are you ready? I've been here for... And then you said, like, how long have you been here for? I'm like, I've been here for about 10 minutes. You're like, oh, no.
So, on air, I'm going to tell you the truth. I probably said something like I was shaving or something, who knows. I fell back asleep real quick. I sat down on the couch
You fell asleep?
after taking care of the unexpected
Are
guests.
you serious?
I was sitting,
oh, my...
I was sitting on the couch,
Oh, my God.
like looking out the window like a little schoolboy, like ready for you to come. And all of a sudden, like, my phone is vibrating, and I kind of felt it, but I was in this slumbery sleep state, so I kind of didn't wake up.
I should have honked my horn then if that was
On the
gonna be the case.
10th vibrate, I kind of finally looked at my phone. Oh yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Ha. He. Ooh. So
Like baseball game. Come on, you knew we had to drive all the way to the Bronx.
Yeah, the Bronx. So we start our journey
At 9 o'clock in the morning.
At 9 o'clock in the morning. Our journey begins with me saying, "Let's stop at Dunkin'."
Okay, almost passed it. First of all,
almost passed it, but you scurried right in.
Yep.
I said to the man, "Do you want anything?"
I wanted a coffee because I was also I didn't sleep as much as you. Well, then again, I got nothing to complain about because you only slept for 2 hours that night.
But I do have to apologize because I did a lot of sleeping on our journey. But a lot of sleeping.
Way too much sleeping.
More like half awake, zombie awake sleeping. But I had to load up on some caffeine, so I got a large thin mint milk.
It was almost like the size of my head.
Yes,
that's how huge it was.
Yes,
it
was gigantic, and whipped cream added, of course. Always add whipped cream.
Always add a little bit of
sugar.
Eat
the whipped cream first. You know the drill. Come on.
You know what I call it? The diabetic shake.
It was the diabetic shake, and let me just point it out that this large coffee didn't do anything to me.
It also you didn't finish it either. So what was it?
Oh, maybe that was the problem. But I did I bought some donuts for you. And
the donuts were delicious.
And I had a couple of donuts and a bagel, and I was like, all right, here we go. Let's get this drive down. I'm trying to be a good teammate. I'm trying to be like, James is driving. I want to be awake. And I'll find the page because I start taking notes.
We try to think of ideas for this episode.
Yes.
Until it was like hieroglyphics pretty much towards the end.
Let me just say, the first phrase you'll see, I wrote the phrase tip of the cap moment. And it says Dirk Nowitzki. We were going to talk about Dirk Nowitzki.
We're going to talk about Dirk. We're going to talk about Dwayne Wade. We're going to talk about Chris Bosh, Manu Ginobili, those guys that got their numbers retired, and eventually future Hall of Famers. And then you decided to go Manu to sleep.
Yeah, I kind of was in a fall asleep mode, but I didn't want him to think so I kept kind of jerking awake.
Dude, I knew you were.
I've been awake. But ladies and gents, that was the notes I took. If you want to take a look there real quick and notice how it looks like nothing, and it kind of scribbled off at the end there. I'd write a letter and then just fall asleep while writing a word.
Let's be honest. I could have put the pieces together. You told me you closed the bar like early. Or not early. Very late.
Very not early.
Very not early.
In the morning.
Come on, I can put the pieces together. You didn't sleep very much. Obviously, you had unexpected guests at 7:45 in the morning, so that's 4 hours of sleep right there.
It's not like I woke up in a happy state. I was freaking out, and the first thing I saw was an unbreaded chicken nugget that was moving across my floor. So
that's okay. You know what? We came up with tip of the cap moment. I told you, sleep for 5 minutes while we're listening to a little bit of Rush.
That was nice. Rush put me right to sleep, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, you know what it is? I picked the wrong songs. We were listening to Tom Sawyer, the Closer to Heart, those kind of songs, and I'm like, you know what? I'll find a way to wake you up. So I just made it louder. I just turned it up just a little bit so that way he can hear the music, and it all was well.
But I'm not gonna lie, I blinked a few times, and all of a sudden, boom, we're at the stadium. So God knows
that was the quickest ride to New York I've ever
in
my entire life.
That was fast.
It was 2 hours.
I don't even know what route you take. What route do we go?
684 to the Hutch, cross county to the Deegan to the Bronx to Yankee Stadium.
Banged it out in 2 hours or less than, or
around there pretty much. But then again, I was also kind of going a little fast.
Jinx.
Yeah, you were you were actually kind of worried a few times.
I did say, I was like, oh no, because you kept flooring it and you were at 5,000 RPMs, but I was like, James, we're already going 80. So.
Okay, let's just be honest. I drive a blue piece of crap car. It does get to point A to point B, but it reaches a certain point where you think the car is going to explode anytime soon. But it never happens.
That's more what I was concerned about. I was like, James, pump the brakes a little bit.
I've had this car for about 2 years.
Ladies and germs, I am the ultimate speeder. I know where all the cops are or where they think they're going to be. And I speed in between every time, but I was thinking to myself, we're in new territory here. The man's revving at 5,000 RPM when we're already going 80 miles an hour.
This is why I've never been in a car with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is why I also drove.
That was a good first experience.
On Sunday.
thank God you drove because, man,
You would have fell asleep behind the wheel. I
we
would have
might
ended
not be
up.
here. Yep. So
Yeah, you know what it is? It'd be just 2 empty spots right here
two
with a
empty
camera.
spots with a camera.
Actually, you know who would probably take over? My 2 cats. One of them is just sleeping over there. The other one is, I don't know where. But anyway,
I'm going to totally grab that cat before this is over. But let us continue.
TJ the catnapper.
I am a catnapper. I will say this. We got to the stadium. We pulled
11
in.
o'clock, pulled in.
We're all amped up.
$45 parking.
Should I talk about your friend that was making fun of me for fantasy baseball?
If he's listening to this.
Hey, hopefully he made it this far. So James, his buddies and him have a fantasy baseball league, and they needed a final spot. And so, out of the kindness of my heart, no, it was just I took the last spot.
Hey, it was very kind for you to be the last part.
And
Otherwise,
I said,
you
sure. I said, what the heck not, you know? And unfortunately, the night that they had the draft, I was at the bar, bartending, and I even had my buddy try to log in for me and do the draft for me, but he was hammered, and I was like, I don't want him controlling my team.
And you ended up having
To
possibly the worst
I had
pitching staff ever.
So everyone hates the auto drafter.
Oh, I do
Everyone
too.
hates the auto drafter, and I was the auto drafter. So
You had,
I
the worst
admit,
pitching ever.
I admit, I was disgusted in myself. But I looked at my roster, and you folks know, if you're listening, we hate Manny Machado. And I, of course, scroll down to see who my stars are, and my first star is Manny Machado. And then everybody else is Bing Bak Book and Bing Bak Bu and Big Ba. I'm like, who are any of these players? And also, I don't have a single pitcher that is good.
Yeah, not
End of
even
story.
one pitcher. I think you had one guy named.
When did my auto draft start taking pitchers? Like, did it wait till the last 5 rounds? Like,
They must have done that. That's what happens.
holy heavens! I have the worst pitching staff of all time.
The way that the auto draft is that the top players
Available player.
are batters
Always.
normally.
And so it depends how you set up your league too.
And also,
But yeah.
when you're on auto draft, you do know the first player is not going to be a pitcher. Is going to be a position player.
Right. Well, nonetheless, James's friend was very upset that I was auto drafting. And
He was also
which
very
is
upset
fair.
that you weren't setting up your lineup.
And I didn't set the lineup
because
I also just
didn't care because you knew your team was absolutely terrible.
So he's texting James while we're trying to go and enjoy the Yankee experience.
You know, we were just sitting around, I was just stretching, we were having a good time, having a few laughs
We were
before
having-
we walk into the
we were
stadium.
having a beer in the parking lot.
Yeah,
a little
of
pregame,
course.
A little pregame action. And his friend is just blowing up his spot, just being like, dude, get TJ to square up and do his thing, or I'm getting somebody else.
And this is the point where I'm just like, you can handle this, because I don't want to handle
I
it.
took the phone from him and got a little aggressive. And I'm going to say whoever, what's the gentleman's name, your friend?
Jimmy Anamakis.
Jimmy Anamakis.
Shout out.
Shout out. I was a little aggressive with my words. I was a little angrier than I usually get in life.
You were also sleep deprived.
But I was sleep deprived and full of Thin Mint coffee and donuts and ready for Yankee Stadium. So I just called him things like a little boy and calm down. It's fantasy baseball.
with daddy issues.
And daddy issues.
That was the part that made me laugh.
said-
By the way, I'm like,
But we did turn it around with some humor. I was like, look, let's just end this with some humor. I'm not trying to be a bad person.
Just
keep
get
doing
to the
hand
point.
thing.
Get to the point.
And so we made it good. And we're walking in. Security's tight. We get through. We have a little sprinkle. There's a little rain coming down. So we're like, whatever.
Tarp was still on the field.
Tarp was still in the field.
James Paxton was signing autographs.
Yes, he was.
We were thinking about it.
I was thinking about it.
But there was already
800 kids there.
Yeah, so we're just like, you know what? Let the kids have their moments. Maybe we'll find a
Meander
way.
around the stadium a little bit, find our seats, and we realize, boom, we're in the middle of the bleacher creatures. Can't wait.
Just us right now.
Just us and no other person sitting down. We said, okay, well, now we'll go. We went over to Monument Park. Did a couple live videos.
Never been to Monument Park before that moment, by the way.
How cool was that?
I enjoyed every moment of it. The fact that I could name every player, everything that we saw from Monument Park, it was such a blast.
That was a nice experience, wasn't it?
Yes, of course. And I also got 200 views on that Facebook video.
That
where
was nice.
We were like, oh yeah, so here we are. We're in this area.
And then
we're this guy.
I almost stepped on Derek Jeter's flowers in one of the other videos. That was bad.
You should be ashamed of yourself for doing that.
If you know anything, every password to all my things is Derek Jeter. So just
Capitan.
El Capitan. They had Posada, Pettit, and
Bernie Williams
together. I thought that was cool. And then Jeter all by himself. And we took a live video. I'm looking around, circling, and I
You're like, ayo.
I almost stepped in the flower of Derek Jeter, but I didn't. Because I have great balance, because I'm a great American, and I'm a great athlete.
That's all that matters.
Exactly. So
then we go to Monument Park, we see our little things. We're like, you know what? Let's go back to our seats.
right, it's around noon, 12:20,
Close.
12:30.
One problem. Tarp was still on the field.
Tarp's still on the field, and it's still sprinkling. And I don't see a single player anywhere.
No one. Nobody was taking batting practice. It was literally just me with the tarp on the
That's
field.
half the reason we went there early, because we wanted to see batting practice. We were all amped up and juiced up. I just want to get some balls. And we were perfect seats for batting practice.
Come on, I was expecting a Judge blast or a bye birdie. I was like, I was ready to catch it.
We would have had so many balls.
Of course.
But we digress. The other cool thing was, and I don't know any of their names. The people that sat around us, we had a lot of cool dudes around us. Our age,
we did.
A lot of young guys our age, and they were kind of guiding us along, telling us when roll call would start. Roll call when they chant out Gleyber Torres.
I was so ready for that.
Oh man,
that's why I chose those seats. What was it? When I was on the website,
that was awesome.
I'm like bleacher creatures. It's obviously the way to go.
Dude, it's a true Yankee experience. You need to sit in the bleacher creatures because that's where the real fans are.
Clearly, people do not know how to do the chant, which we will get to a little bit later.
We screwed that up.
No, we didn't screw it up. It was the fans.
But I was asking,
to the right.
I was asking the right question. It always goes left, center.
Nope, center, left, right.
Center, left, right?
Yeah, that's how. There's hey, Brett! And then we did the, hey, Brett Gardner. And then we went to the left. It was Giancarlo. Then it was Judge.
That's
and then
right. And
first to third.
All of a sudden, people just started chanting Aaron Judge.
You're like, whoa, wait a minute.
And then people were like, no, yet. Anywho, the coolest thing ever was I'm doing a live video using James's phone because my phone had already died. We
need a portable charger. I think
do
when something like that happens.
I'm also not a good planner, but
hey, we planned out
the
this
coolest
trip
thing was Brett Gardner, and he just turns to us and goes, because every player has one little unique thing they do. Judge goes like this and looks at you.
I wish we had Nick Swisher. He just was like, wait a minute, let me take the pitch, turns around, and then just salutes the fans.
Oh, I love that. So we go around, doing the roll call. Just everything's awesome. And there's these two guys sitting in front of us. There's one really nice gentleman who told us everything. He was actually in the live video. I actually filmed him. What's happening? He turns around. This is happening. Okay, cool. And then the buddy he had.
Let's just say he was. By the way, the game did not start at 1 o'clock.
Oh yeah. By the way, that all was at about 4:40.
Yeah, the game started about 3.5 hours. Let's just say this: I was happy to take him because if I took somebody else, they would have wanted to get out of here at 2:30.
Oh no, I'm there.
I would have been like,
I'm there for baseball.
I'd be like, no. I drove 2 hours.
Yeah,
I'm watching some freaking baseball. I almost swore that for a second. I was very close.
You pulled it in. And the other thing is, 3.5 hours. What the heck is gonna go on? They showed March Madness on the big screen.
Let's just say this: They showed the Auburn game, which Auburn ended up winning, which probably no one thought would have happened.
We're gonna get that into later.
I know we're getting a little disorganized with that timing.
We're so disorganized because we're so amped up. We just want to get to the fun stories because there's so much funness. Oh my god! But it is the grossest Final Four of all time. We'll get back to that.
Yes.
Back to pregame. They're showing the Final Four
at 2:30.
At 2:30. At 3 o'clock. Oh, and the funniest thing was, James and I, being all excited and amped up, he shows me his phone because we're looking at the weather.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the big green blotch of rain, and we're looking where we are.
It's just a big green
He's like,
blob.
okay, look, it goes across. It's going to move. But then the problem was the time went from 1 to 4.
And you're like,
I was like, oh my goodness.
You're like, we knew we were going to be there for a while.
Here's the other problem. I only brought $100.
Yeah, I had to help you out there a little bit.
So I thought by budgeting and not bringing a debit card and being smart about my financials, $100 should be plenty for a baseball game, even knowing that Yankee Stadium's more expensive than anything else.
That was a big mistake on your part, by the way.
Very first thing that has to happen is
A hot dog and a beer.
before that was parking.
Oh,
Technically, I owed you for the ticket, which
Yes.
was 26, call it 25, whatever.
yeah, somewhere around there.
Parking was 45, so I threw him 45
It
cash
was also
because
right,
I was flush.
it was right in front of the stadium.
Right in front of the stadium.
Literally right in front.
Parking, $45, whatever. So I gave him. He uses his debit card. I give him the 45 cash for it
Well, it was all cards too. You couldn't use
because
cash
I'm
for that.
flush. Remember, I'm flush. I got $100. I'm feeling fly. $45. I got that. I'll show him I got that. But then I look at my wallet. 50. Okay, whatever. We get into the game. We have to spend 3.5 hours doing what before the game even starts? We bought a hot dog,
I bought chicken tenders and fries because I was still hungry.
a beer was $13.
More than one beer, nonetheless.
Ladies and germs, before the game even started, I looked at my wallet.
I already spent $100 right there.
I only had 2 20s left, and I thought to myself, oh boy.
This is gonna be fun. And you know, the first thing I told you is like, I want to get some memorabilia. I want to get some stuff. Hence the reason why we're wearing these shirts, by the way.
Should we turn around?
Yeah. All right. If you can see, they can't see right now. I got Miggy and Duhar. He's got Gleyber Torres.
And I might say, your guy's injured.
We'll get that.
We'll get to that.
We'll get a little bit later.
Oh my God, so many stories. We're going to come back timeline-wise.
I know. Right now, we're literally
all over the place, and we love it, and we know you love it.
It's like the movie Pulp Fiction right now, where the movie is just completely out of disarray right now.
Is that Memento or Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction.
Everything
happens in like 2 days, but everything is like in a disarray.
A Tarantino way.
Yeah, of course.
I will say, Memento is the one where he has the memory thing, and that's us right now because we're so friggin' excited to talk about this. But okay, the rain delay, the March Madness, the hot dogs, the beer.
You're unfortunate.
TJ has no money.
It gets so much better, by the way. I can't even keep it together.
So James, James and I go to the merchandise section.
I can't even keep it together.
And he sees a little display of shirts, the ones we're wearing. And this is before Andahar got hurt, and we love our young studs, Gleyber Torres, Miguel Andahar.
And Duhar has been my guy for the longest time.
Him.
That's why I wanted him. I'm so happy we did not get him for Trevor Bauer, Corey Kluber, Noah Syndergaard. We kept him.
We kept him. Didn't get rid of him. And also, our boys have been performing. They've just been great, great young players. Man, I love them. So he gets Andahar. I got Torres. And
you know what it is? I didn't want the judge or the stand.
Yeah,
it's like everybody gets that.
Everyone's
I want someone where no one is going to get
real fans. We're real fans.
Of course, yeah. And Andujar was my guy. Torres is obviously a stud.
So I go to the bathroom stall.
Sorry.
I go to the bathroom stall to change into this jersey that I'm so friggin' excited to wear. I hang it up on this little crusty hook that is just in the wrong spot now that I think about it. I'm taking off my sweatshirt that I was wearing to put on said shirt, and my elbow clips and kind of picks up and lifts the shirt off the hook. So I'm taking off the sweatshirt, shirt's caught on my elbow, and I'm turning around and doing a 360 all at the same time, but my head is inside the sweatshirt, so I can't see what's going on, but I feel the shirt on my elbow, and I'm like, oh. It flies off the hook. I go to catch it, and the funny thing was, it wasn't gonna fall on the toilet.
You can probably guess where.
I tried catching it, and I actually batted it faster into
the spot itself.
And guess what? There was already human excrement in there. It wasn't mine. I walked into his stall just to change, so I'm thinking, whatever, that's somebody else's business. I'll leave it there. The shirt goes in. I, as fast as I can, rip it out And I'm like, oh my God.
You know why
I'm holding it there.
You know why I find it this funny? Because we talk about all these stories of these things that happen to me, and something like that happens to you. It's just like, you're like, oh no, and then you tell me, I'm like, do you have a receipt?
So I rip it out of the stall. I'm holding it. I'm thinking to myself, and I'm pretty gross. If you know me, I'm pretty gross. I can get away with some gross stuff. But I thought, I can't. I can't. It wasn't that bad on one side, and then I lifted it up even higher. At the other side, and it was just like splatter.
Oh,
just splatter everywhere.
You're like, oh no. I'm like, okay, we gotta get.
I'm just this kid now, running through Yankee Stadium, holding a shirt as far out away from my body as I possibly can. I run, I go down the stairs. I'm like, James, tell me you saved the receipt. Tell me.
I did. It was in my jacket pocket.
And that's why we love James, because the man's responsible. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, I didn't think that was going to happen.
I was now going to. Should I admit what I did on camera?
I think it's just a between me and you thing.
I'm going to admit on camera.
All right. Just do what happens.
So
let's just say we put our acting skills to the test.
I committed a crime. James is innocent, by the way.
Very innocent. So innocent.
I thought to myself, here's the plan. I have the receipt. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to do this by the law. I'm going to just do what I got to do.
Okay, so we were just walking around.
This is what I told James. I was like, James, we're going to stand over here. I'm going to grab a new Gleyber Torres shirt. I'm going to pretend like I'm looking at all these other jerseys by the door.
They're like, oh, Masahiro Tanaka.
I was like, oh,
Jacoby Ellsbury.
Bleh, bleh. I was like, ooh, Masahiro Tanaka. Ooh, look at that.
And then,
ooh, look at that.
And then the shirt that you had.
The shirt I did have covered in excrement. I dropped it on the floor.
Yeah.
Kicked it underneath. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I am an American. And I care. I am not going to put it back on the pile.
You also have self-respect. I don't think you want to wear a shirt.
I'm not going to let anybody else.
Excrements.
No, but I'm not going to let anybody else wear it. So I wasn't going to put it back on the pile of Gleyber Torres shirts.
Well,
I'm going to put it in the bowels of this store where no one's going to find it for like 7 weeks, and it might start smelling really, really bad.
It probably smelled at the end of the game.
Somebody hopefully found that and didn't. Oh man,
probably didn't put the pieces together.
Some merchandise person probably picked it up and was just like, "What? Did someone poop in the store?" Anyways, I drop it. James is a little nervous because, to be honest, he was aiding and abetting a criminal. Me. We're committing a crime.
I'm like a fugitive almost.
But all we were really doing was just exchanging a shirt that we already purchased, so there was no.
I still had the receipt.
Yeah, the receipt.
It wasn't stealing. If I had the receipt, it was just a.
On the way out the door, I was like, James, we're just gonna act like we're confused by the receipt and making fun of the prices. So I was like, James, just walk. Just walk. And we start walking out the door. I'm holding the receipt up like, oh, look at this. This is ridiculous. Oh, my God, the price.
I was just finishing my beer, too. Not gonna lie.
You were drinking on the way out.
That's so, honestly.
We make it out, and, man, we high-five like we never high-fived before. I was like, all right, let's put these bad boys on. A fresh, clean shirt. And here we go. We're ready for some baseball.
Well, you had that and also the 3 calendars. Because it was calendar day.
Calendar day.
That's why I chose the game, because I needed a new calendar for my bedroom, because there was nothing after March 2019.
And that other weird... And you need some space other than the other weird poster you have in your room?
Yes. What weird poster?
I don't know.
I was about to say.
I just wanted to say something like that.
Okay, but anyway, the point is
you know what doesn't match calendar day?
On rainy days.
Rainy days.
You get the calendar extracts all over your fingers.
Yes,
and you're like, where the where did this happen?
Hey, good catch there.
Yeah.
He just kept peeling the calendar off on his fingers. He's
I'm like, what's going on?
I don't think science supports this. Why is this coming off on my fingers? But anyways, there was just calendar shredded everywhere by the end. There was just debris everywhere. It was a jungle of hot dogs and French fries. And a lot of French fries weren't eaten, and I'm not going to lie, when you run out of money at a stadium and you're starving...
That's sickening.
I didn't do it, but I almost ate some. Anyways, so, back to the beginning of the game.
Okay, so, game started at 4:30.
Game started.
Already down 3-0.
3-0.
J-Hap was brutal.
Ball 1, ball 2, hit.
3.
Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4, first and second, home run.
3-0. Renato Nunez, no one knows who that guy is.
Renato Nunez, 3-hitter for the Orioles. Congratulations.
3-run home run.
Down 3-0.
Okay.
So
next inning, guy taunts the guy that taunted Trey Mancini in right field.
The guy in front of us is military.
Yeah,
he has a night job. Thank God.
Because
the way it worked out was he was expecting to go to work at 8 o'clock at night or like 7 o'clock at night. The game was at 1 o'clock, expected to be over at 4. Instead, the game didn't start till basically 5. So luckily, this guy could only stay for a couple innings because he chose to
Mancini in right field.
He said some of the most Mancini
he said some expletive things.
Your mother and your father and your mother.
He was making fun of him, and you know what was the best part?
Wait, hold. Don't even say it.
I'm not saying it.
Because he's saying it, and I'm trying to like rein him in a little bit because all the fans around us are getting really upset.
Except for that female in the front, she was like, yeah. I'm like, no.
She was hammered.
Don't get involved.
She was hammered.
Let him do his thing. He'll get it out of here, and life will be much better.
And unfortunately, he didn't get it out of his system. He just kept doing it because he liked the fact that fans were getting. He's one of those guys. Also, like I said, he's military. He's strong. He's not going to get fazed by anything. So the man is saying he called it his low-flying goose voice. Mancini, your mother and your father, whatever.
We're doing this. That is like.
I'm not going to say what he said.
Shut up. Just like, shut up.
Everyone was getting... It was funny for 5 seconds, dude. But now you're pissing all of us.
You know what happened?
So, after that...
Overkill. He overkilled it.
He's yelling Mancini. So guess what happens in next at-bat?
Top third. Mancini at bat. He hits the fly ball in the deep center, and it goes out of the ballpark. And I'm like...
Bye-bye.
I'm like...
Guess what?
It was a good and bad situation. It was bad because
he's literally standing up, screaming mid-sentence, "Mancini, your mother and your sister and your," and then literally,
you're like,
"Ball, go." As soon as the ball hits the outfield stands, the entire section starts chanting, "All your fault, all your fault, all your fault." You know what it is? He probably got taunted. He was pissed off. Got at bat. And he crushed it. Mancini, way to show up this one guy standing in front of us.
Although he made us down 4-0.
And now we're down 4-0. But
J-Hap just wasn't there today.
He wasn't there.
All.
But I will say this. Instead of being understanding, like, the guy liked the fact. He's like, hey, look at the positives.
Yeah,
I now had a chant from Yankee Stadium. People chanted about me.
Yeah, I'm
like, how couldn't we? You made it all about yourself, guy. You're in the way of all of our fun experience, guy.
That's why he left at the 3rd inning, because thank God his night job was there.
Thank God he had a night job. He left, 3rd inning, everyone was happy, we were all happy, and then the Yankees could start fighting back.
Bottom of the 4th, we get bases loaded.
Ooh, and Judge's up.
Miguel Andujar, actually, no, before that.
Before that, you're right.
Brett Gardner, you were saying 17
pitch at bat.
17 pitch at bat.
That's what he's good for.
How about after the first pitch, Andujar almost got picked off.
Yes.
That is where he got injured, by the way.
Yeah.
On a pickoff attempt. You're like, no!
Because we noticed, he threw the ball first, either a few innings later or whatever, and he always kind of has a wacky sidearm if he has to.
The double clutch, which I'm personally not a fan of.
And it looked extra weird. He had this extra hitch in his throw. And we even said it in the moment. And he had a base hit later where it looked like it looked like he crushed it, and even the outfielder started backpedaling, and then he had to sprint in because it was like a little fluff ball.
It was like a little fluff grounder.
No power at all.
Random things.
And so it just like that was strange. And so of course later on we find out Miguel Andujar
the next day
partially torn labrum.
The next day was literally the worst day, like in the history of like Yankee history, pretty much.
And
but anyway, we
continue on. Judge
4-1, 2-run single right.
Boom!
4-3.
4-3.
We're like, great.
We're going nuts. We're high-fiving the dudes around us. Like, these are real fans,
I had a great time doing that, by the way.
Great time, man. We were going bonkers. The 2 dudes behind us.
We went bonkers after the bases loaded.
They're our age. We're cheering for walks, man. These guys are real fans. They get it, too. They, like, know the ins and outs of baseball. They're not just like, eh. So the dudes behind us, one was from Long Island, one was from Brooklyn or something like that.
Jersey.
Good boys.
Yeah.
And, we're all just like high-fiving, we're freaking out, and also we bonded over hating the guy in front of me.
Yeah, that was the best part.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, which I don't even know if you know this, but one dude started throwing garbage at that guy. And
really? I didn't see that.
No, because I was like, if somebody starts throwing something, I thought to myself, if someone starts throwing something,
it's gonna get ugly.
I'm in the way. So
yeah, it's gonna get ugly. You're gonna be involved in it.
It's gonna hit me. So I remember this dude who he boned. I thought that maybe it was the wind or something because it came and it missed me and it missed the guy too and it just went in. But then another one came over my shoulder and I was like, oh my god, grenades! We got.
Oh wait, yeah, you did mention something.
We got grenades
like
coming in. I said grenades or something like that.
I'm like, oh god. I'm like, I didn't know what you were talking about.
But I was like, where's the lettuce? Who's got the tomatoes? But anyways, so we're down 4-3, you know, and a little bit of the game goes by. We lose a lot more money going to vendors and. I'm freezing cold, by the way, because
it became like It became like Antarctica.
The temperature just drops. We're wet. It's freezing.
It's also 40 degrees.
And I told him, guess what? I got an insider secret. The bathroom is really, really warm.
Okay, so was it? It was 5-3 at that point.
We were down 5-3.
Go to the bathroom. I decided to go to the bathroom for a few minutes, you know, just to make sure you were telling the truth, and you were. Next thing you know, I hear. Gary is scary. I'm like, what?
They play John Sterling. They play the
I'm
radio
like,
call
what?
In the bathroom. We miss the only home run.
So you know why I
Yankee.
did? So you know why I did? After I heard that,
he sprints out.
I'm like, Sanchez went deep, and I sprint right back in. I was like,
let me pull this back. You're excited. You're excited. I'm excited. Let me pull this back.
Okay.
I'm in the stall. I take my time, by the way, when I'm in the bathroom. James, he's a true fan. He wants to see baseball. He's out there. I feel bad because I can see his shoes underneath. I'm like, he's just standing outside the stall waiting for me. I'm like, just go ahead.
You had no phone. Actually, both of us didn't have a phone, okay? So if one of us got lost, we have no way of contacting each other.
But before our phones died, I did contact you that one time from across the stadium when we waved at each other. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
That was cool.
I still have the text right now.
I'm looking at you.
Okay.
But... boom, Gary is scary, home run.
What?
He runs out, he catches it on the replay a little bit, he sees a little bit of it. I just continue to take my time in the bathroom.
Okay.
Staying warm, staying fine.
All right, so they're like 5-4. I'm like, we still have a chance.
5-4. And
next inning.
Yeah, pretty much the rest of the game.
Did not go our way.
Yeah.
We had the bases loaded way too many times, and we couldn't capitalize besides the bases loaded walk and the 2-run single. The next batter after the 2-run single, Giancarlo Stanton struck out on 3 straight changeups from a guy named John Means.
Each one being more and more outside the strike zone.
You know what that reminded me of? 2018 Giancarlo.
Yeah.
When he struck out in clutch situations. You're like, that can't happen.
And you know what? That also was an extra dinger to why later on next day we see,
Giancarlo Stanton.
Injured. Come on.
Bicep strain. You're like...
It looks like it. He was swinging at balls 17,000 feet outside the strike zone. So something was up.
So I came up with this conclusion. It is my fault. I went to Yankee Stadium. Giancarlo Stanton, Miguel Andujar. Miguel Andujar is probably going to miss the season. I buy his shirt. This happens. And I'm like, I'm sad.
And you want to know what happens when I buy the Gleyber Torres shirt?
He goes 4 for 4 today with 2 home runs.
Boom! Gleyber Torres, baby!
So anyway, the point is that not only did the Yankees lose 2 out of 3 from the Baltimore Orioles, they also lost 2 out of 3 to the Detroit Tigers, who are also one of the worst teams in baseball. And this is where I'm going to get a little pissed off.
Go ahead, buddy. Take it.
All right, 2-4. Doesn't sound good. You lose to the Orioles. This is the pathetic stat line that I need to mention.
Before today's
game, because we were going to do this yesterday, but unfortunately,
life, continue.
Also, possibly podcast moving to either Monday or Tuesday. One of those 2 days.
We'll talk about that later.
Anyway, the point is that this is the
Yankees hate.
This is not Yankees hate. This is Yankees
upsetness.
This is frustration. Concerns.
You know what it is? I would never hate.
I felt like last year all over again.
Yeah.
Missing out in clutch situations. This is before today's game. They had runners in scoring position. They batted under the Mendoza line. 190. They had only 6 home runs as a team.
50. How many? 65 strikeouts.
Not to mention 18 strikeouts by a guy named Matthew Boyd. Yes, I know.
And another guy named
Buck
Farmer.
Buck Farmer, Joe Jimenez, and also former Yankee Shane Green. How's that possible?
They struck out 18 times in one game.
Also,
18 times.
That was so sad to watch.
That is 2/3 of the outs.
Yeah, pretty much. I thought they were going to get to 22 strikeouts for some reason.
That's disgusting. Well, the point is, as James is saying, they batted 190 with runners in scoring position.
This is also not the part.
That's not producing. That's just, we saw you do it in preseason.
Look,
we get it.
But I understand.
We get it.
Look, I understand.
Hits are going to come.
11 players on the injured list.
And we understand it's early in the season.
Also, I looked at this. The 11 players on the injured list, it was a combined 120 home runs. Also combined 17 All-Star Game appearances, and also a combined a lot of money.
Yeah.
And also our lineups that we have, AA, AAA, pretty much.
But yeah, you're right. Let me spin this positively. We now get a chance to see Tyler Wade, who deserved a spot in the first place.
Not Mike Tauchman, who no one knew who that was.
We'll keep him over here. And then Frazier. We get to see Frazier get some at-bats.
I'm not losing hope on Tyler Wade or Clint Frazier. A lot of people, here's the part that annoyed me the most. After the loss to the Tigers yesterday, everyone is like, the season's over. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's only 6 games. Give it some time.
That's New York for you, though. Speaking of crazy, wacky New York fans who always go over the top and say it's over when they lose one thing and they're hurt a little bit, so they make it about all of it. There was a fan, I just have to say this.
Okay, just mention.
Towards the end of the game, when, just as angry as he is, there's a fan 2 rows in front of us that's yelling, "They're playing Baltimore!"
Oh, it's the Bronx, New York.
You're in the Bronx!
It's like,
figure it out! And he's cursing and he's swearing. So security comes down and it's basically this polite young gentleman says to him, "Hey," and I need to say the race dynamic because it makes sense.
It was
a
race dynamic.
It was a 66-year-old old white male, about 66. I don't know why I said 66. And like a 22-year-old young black male.
Because he was mean like the devil, pretty much.
He was mean like the devil.
That's why you said 66.
Yeah, good point. I like that. So the guy is yelling, cursing, so he swears. You can yell at a player or whatever, but if you swear, somebody...
You knew you're going to get
So security comes down. He's kindly just saying, "Listen, man, love the enthusiasm. Yankees, yeah, but just don't swear, please." The guy, instead of being cool about it, decides to go off on him and says things like, "Why don't you go back to your basketball game?"
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I'm like,
Jesus.
Just be careful with the choice of words.
And he's going off, and you know what it was? It was even less cool. Right after he's going off, the security guard was like, "Excuse me? We're going to play it like that? Like, you could have just said okay, or not even said anything."
I would prefer the
second security guard shows up, and now the guy who was the fan, who was 66, takes a hat out of his bag, and it says, he puts it on, and it says, like, USS Dinky on it.
You're like, uh-oh.
It was a Navy hat, which he's basically saying, "Hey, I was in the military. I served.
I'm entitled. I could do this, that.
Don't get in my face.
I can be racist.
I've earned this."
Doesn't work that way.
Let's be honest. Veterans, you get the short end of the stick a lot. You guys do things that we don't even know to keep us being able to do stuff like this. So, thank you. But in this moment, it was thrown back into a kid's face in a very wrong way. And it was very...
You know what it is?
Very weird to watch. And let's just say, I'm tipping my cap at another moment to that security guard who held strong.
He probably takes a lot of that every day.
Yeah, but he held strong, and eventually the guy snatched his bag and said, "Fine, I'm out of here."
And expletive.
Left
the stadium.
And we're cheering.
We're like, thank God.
So, needless to say, it was a very exciting game.
Yes, 3.5 hour rain delay. The Yankees lost. He gets a t-shirt in the toilet.
T-shirt toilet.
Also, you dropped your popcorn.
Oh,
I lost my...
the popcorn. That was what I was trying to remember. I was making fun of him because he's like, "Let me have some of that." So I scoop up some of it for him. I give it to him. He's walking around and he drops some of it. I was like, "James, I was over the top. I was like, James, for God's sake,
you
control your popcorn.
And then you drop the
Seconds later, I drop my entire bag, and the whole thing spills out. So, like a cartoon, I
embarrass
myself.
Let's just say this: 3.5 hour rain delay, dropped popcorn, piss-covered T-shirts, annoying fans. Yankees blew it against the Orioles, and it all led to one incredibly fun day.
What an experience, buddy.
Also,
I gotta say, that was awesome.
That was fun.
That was awesome, man.
My phone died after the roll call.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like,
I thought the roll call didn't get in. I was like, I just filmed like a 10-minute live video, and I'm pretty sure it sucked with the last 20 minutes of your or 20 minutes on your battery.
We got it, though.
We got it. I clicked send. I swore I clicked send or share, and all of a sudden the phone goes black. I was like, I swear I clicked it. I swear I clicked share. I swear I did. Didn't know till later because both of our phones are dead, and we're in New York, so who knew?
Yeah, also, one more thing. Not a lot of people had MSU beating Duke in the Elite Eight.
Yeah. And this is the other part of the news. We learned people are like, Duke up 2, Duke down 4, Duke up 2.
But
the highlights of the game.
How about this? MSU beat Duke.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I was the happiest fan at Yankee Stadium because somehow I had them beating Duke.
He's got him.
Yeah.
Live it up while you got it, guy. Live it up while you got it.
I know. Come on. I was like this the entire time. I was like screaming. I was yelling.
All I have to say is, you know, live it up. You got that right.
I don't know how I got that right.
I don't think many people had Michigan State coming out of the bracket.
I might have pulled
then
that
again, I don't think many people had this Final Four.
This is going to be a garbage
All I have
Final
to
Four.
say is, what? College basketball?
Garbage Final Four.
What? MSU, Texas Tech.
Okay.
Texas Tech.
Yeah, who?
Auburn and Virginia.
Who would have thought?
Virginia, no offense, you're the lamest of the 1 seeds. And what I mean by lame is nobody actually wants to see you. Yes, you might be the most offensive team at Virginia that you've had in years. So you score 40 points instead of 30. That was a joke, but it's really not that far off.
Yeah, just to let you know, we also have a few minutes left.
Oh, no, I see it, 57. We're good.
I know. Oh, I was looking that down there too. So.
Oh, 56?
Yeah, 25?
I know. Well,
can't you tell we're having a good time?
We don't want to stop.
I don't want to stop.
I want to keep pooping on Virginia. I'm gonna for another minute.
All right, do it.
Virginia, you stink. And yeah, you're going to probably win, but I'm cheering so hard for Auburn. I just love the fact that they grinded it out in the SEC. SEC school making it to the Final Four, that's not Kentucky.
That's impressive.
That's pretty cool.
The fact that they beat Kentucky on the screen that we were watching at 2:30.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I love the fact that they have an awesome three-point shooter who has like records upon records and whatever. He's going to be good. But it is probably the grossest Final Four, I was going to say, because...
least viewed Final Four probably ever.
People will watch it, but I don't think that many. People want to see Zion. People want to see the stars. And there's not really a single star on any of these teams that people
No, I don't know any
about.
of these players.
You know, it's like, is that good for basketball? Maybe. Is it bad? Probably. I don't know.
You just don't know what underdog you're going to cheer for.
Yeah. So... nonetheless, I say this, Final Four of grossness, that caps off my bracket. It was beheaded a long time ago, and it's now been pooped on and peed on, just like my shirt was. So, yeah. Anywho.
So,
Yankees injuries.
Yankees 11 players, but never lose faith.
Never lose faith.
You got to look at the bright sides. Adam Ottavino looks amazing, by the way.
He does.
He looks amazing. His fastball is nasty. His slider is through the roof. It's like...
I love him.
I've always enjoyed Adam Ottavino.
You know, real quick, Mets, go.
Mets. Oh, yeah.
Nets.
Oh, Nets. Fight for a playoff spot.
He loves him, by the way.
Oh, loved him. Die hard. Actually, I've always loved him, even through the putrid 20-25 win season. But
there's 3 games left in the season.
39-40, 7th seed. They don't know what's going to happen.
7, 8, and 9 seed all have 40 losses exactly. So,
and it's not like they have the easiest competition. They have the Bucks, Indiana, and then Miami.
Yeah.
I just do that.
I really like that noise in me. That was funny.
I'm freaking out right now.
Yeah. But that's, hey, Nets, you got a pulse, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
And the opposite of a tip of the cap moment is going to go to, we have to think about that. Like, what's the opposite of tip of the cap? You should be ashamed of
You
yourself.
should be the dunce cap of the moment.
Dunce cap of the moment goes to the
AAF.
the already a fail league.
Clearly, they've proven to be.
I made that joke
failure.
like 2 weeks ago, and then Johnny Football comes out and goes like 1 for 9, throws like 2 passes and gets hurt.
And then he just ruins it.
And then the league just says, you know what?
It's over.
We're going to shut this down.
Yeah, pretty much.
This was not a good
It was
investment.
bound to happen.
This was not a solid investment. But nonetheless, we've come to our time.
Yes. Remember, Twitter. New tag, by the way. Live Pinstripes. Not at Yev Nation. It's at Live Pinstripes now. Remember that. JYev21. Stolzenberg TJ on Twitter.
I don't know what mine is, so you got to do all that.
Facebook,
for me.
Facebook page, Instagram, Live and Pinstripes.
Contact us.
Contact us. Everything.
Say controversial stuff so we can talk about you.
Is
on
it his
camera.
fault? Is it his fault that he dropped his shirt in the toilet?
Absolutely not.
Is it his fault?
It's your fault.
All right, fine. I'll take the blame for everything. Also, I will also take the blame for every time I've been to Yankee Stadium. They've lost.
They've
pretty
lost
much,
every time.
except for the first time I went at the old stadium. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that
Look how excited he is. I love him.
we thank you for watching. We'll be back here next week.
You are,
I am James Yevon,
and I am TJ Stolzenberg.
saying thank you, and we will see you next week.
Rock and or roll.
Yeah, I know that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
And it's quarter to one.
Quarter to 1.